We started. Okay, today's training, we are gonna talk about having heart over hustle and just transactional leadership versus transformational leadership. So, if you are familiar with this topic, drop a one in the chat. If you have no idea what this call was going to be about, you can drop a two in the chat so I can know who we are speaking to. Okay, Marina and Jenny, thank you very much. Nina, thank you, Nina. Well, um, the theme is hard over hustle, and I don't think there could be a more powerful message for women that are building a brand, building something that's bigger for themselves. This is bigger than just business. We are more than business, but I know every single one of you that are here, you guys are all driven. You care about growth, you care about success, you care about goals. But I just want to challenge you with something. I want you to ask yourself, are you leading with your head or are you leading from your heart? Are you chasing numbers or are you building people? And when we talk about transformational leadership, we're talking about building people up. When we're talking about transactional leadership, we're just focused on numbers. So with that question, are you chasing numbers or are you building people? The difference right there in your answer, that's going to determine whether your business is in a transactional situation or in a transformational situation. And Adriana and I are going to be teaching off of a John Maxwell and Your Virtual Upline podcast. There's like three podcasts. I'll send them in after this call that have really changed my business. I heard this lesson probably like 4 years into my business, and it really changed a lot for me. And John Maxwell says, if you want to grow an organization, you must first grow the people inside of it. So that's what we're gonna dive into today, growing the people that say yes to you in your business. So let's understand the difference first between transactional leadership and transformational leadership. So, transactional leadership is built on exchange. So, transactional leadership is going to be performance driven. You do this for me, I'll do this for you. And it focuses on behavior and results. Transformational leadership is built on influence. So, transformational leadership, it's growth driven. It's about inspiring people to become the kind of person who, you know, they produce results naturally. So when you're a transformational leader, you do things and people follow without you having to tell them. How many of you would love to have a team that just does the things that you do and you don't have to tell them to do it? I know I do. Um,
Me.
so let me give you an example. Transactional is going to say, if you hit 1000 PV, I'll shout you out. And transformational is going to say, let's uncover the belief behind why you can't hit 1000 PV every month. Like, let's dig behind this to figure out why you can't do it versus if you hit it, I'll do this for you. So, transactional leadership is all about having control, and transformational leadership is about having connection. So, when you lead through transactions, you're going to create followers. But when you lead through transformation, you're going to create leaders. And you always want to have leaders over just people that follow you, like people that can lead their own organization. If you look at Issa's organization, you see, multiple frontline leaders that lead. They don't just follow Issa, right? You see Brooke with her own organization. You see Christy here with her society, having her own organization. You see Bianca leading her own organization. So they're not people that just follow you, they're leaders that create and build their own organizations, which is the key to building a legacy in this industry.
And don't forget to, it's not like with those examples, you don't have to be a big leader with, 10 frontline going. Like this applies to you right now, whether you're leading one person or two people, this applies to you.
Right. So when we've all fallen into transactional leadership before. I'm teaching this because I've been in the space where like I listened to this and I was like, oh my gosh, I do that. I need to change that. So especially when goals are super close and when the end of the month is near or we're feeling pressure, it's easy to fall into transactional leadership. And at the end of the day, this is business. So there does need to be boundaries with the time that you give to people. If you like teach them something, they don't do what you tried to uncover in the transformation. That there does need to be boundaries, but I think, some things that you want to like think about. I'm going to give you some examples that, and if it pops into your head and you're like, okay, this is something that I do, it means that you're leaning more towards the transactional side right now, and you kind of
Means
want, go ahead.
it means that cat's coming for you.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm coming for myself. So number one is you only message your team when you need volume to move.
Ooh.
You me You measure your leadership by your rank or your numbers, not by your growth or your retention. So it's easy for us to be transactional with ourselves and to look at our numbers and think we can't do something or we can't grow because we don't have a certain amount of numbers or we're not seeing growth at the moment, right? I don't have a four pack right now, but I'm not going to think that the last, 2 years of me working on my wellness is useless, right? So you never want to just look at numbers. You want to also look at yourself by the growth that you've been putting in. Another thing is you're focused on outcomes and not like the identity behind who you're becoming, or you're leading from fear instead of faith. So John Maxwell says that you teach what you know, but you reproduce who you are.
Ooh.
So you're going to teach the things that you learn, but you're going to reproduce, which means you're going to build people up dependent on who you become. So you teach what you know, but you reproduce who you are. That's very powerful. Write that down. You teach what you know, but you reproduce who you are. And that hit
Mhm.
me hard
That
because
hits.
if
That's a
I'm
heart.
yeah, if I'm stressed, if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm detached, if I'm not showing up, if I'm pulling back from the chats, guess what I'm gonna reproduce? Leaders that do all of that, right? Do you wanna touch on that, Adriana?
Oh, I was just gonna say like a testimony for myself and then another example, but testimony for myself. I remember in my previous company when I first got started, I was just excited that I was enrolling people. So I would just enroll, but I would forget the back end of like helping them, which I know is a duh, but take it from me, I had to put in so much more effort because I wasn't reproducing, I wasn't teaching. I was so focused on myself in my own lane that I wasn't helping other people. And that really was a learning lesson. But also think about for you, like how many people have we enrolled that we thought would do absolutely nothing, but they actually turned out to be superstars with a little bit of mentorship or coaching. But imagine if you're transactional and you looked at this person, you're like, okay, great. I'll get their 125, amazing. My paycheck's hit, but like they're not going to do anything. And you don't spend any time on them. Imagine the superstar that that person could be. You never know. So you don't ever want to discount people just based on who they are. You are helping them become the version of themselves that they have, that you believe that they can become because you are on the same journey and you've seen the growth within yourself too.
Yeah, you never know who someone can become because you believed in them.
Hmm.
And the 7 years I've been in this industry, I'll tell you guys, the people that end up being like key players in my organizations are people that I would have never known. Like I would like some they start ranking up and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I like had no idea this person would start doing this." And they just hop on all the trainings and they act on the teachings that we share on calls like this and they rise up. It looks like it's out of nowhere, but they've been behind the scenes putting in the work based off of the Zoom calls that we do. And it always is someone that I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that girl would be able to produce $30,000 in sales. And this is in my first year seeing people do this. And now I don't discount anyone. Like when it happens, I'm not surprised anymore because I always know it's always someone you would have never guessed. So it's not something that's a surprise to me anymore. You'd be surprised that what believing in yourself can ripple effect into, right? And you can't believe in others if you don't even believe in yourself. For example, if you don't believe that you're going to hit director and go on this Turkey trip, you're not going to believe that the people in your organization can hit 15%. Because in order for me to, let me use this as an example. In order for me to go emerald or diamond, I have to believe that Ella, Kayla, V, Ray, Shelly, all these people can go golden, can go director. Like I have to believe in them first to believe that I can even go to a certain extent in my organization and in my business. So believing in yourself causes a ripple effect of believing in other people. So again, you teach what you know, but you reproduce who you are. So your team is going to mirror who you're becoming and who you are. So a mini little reflection moment. I just want you to take a second and ask yourself, am I leading my team to perform for me or grow with me? Are you leading your team to perform for you or to grow with you?
Mm, that's
So it is. And I think like we don't realize that what we need to do to hit the numbers we want to hit is to just grow. It should be like your top priority every day. How am I going to grow today? You guys see me reading books and listening to podcasts and rewatching trainings because I need to grow at least 1% more today. And if I'm not learning something, I'm not growing. And if I'm not growing, then I don't have anything to teach my people to help them grow. So you have to ask yourself, am I wanting people to perform with me, to work for me, or am I wanting them to grow with me?
I love this what John was teaching where he said if someone isn't active or hitting goals, he doesn't assume that they're lazy. You assume something's off in their belief. And my job isn't to fix it, it is to light it back up.
Wow. John Maxwell makes me cry.
I know, but think about that. And now think about all the trainings that we've had and what does that really mean? It really always does come back to your vision and knowing the vision of your people. And that's something that's transactional versus transformational. Transactional is just getting the 125, putting them on the calls, they're ready to go. But transformational is knowing their heart. It's knowing why are they doing this? Like what reason are they doing it for? What bills are they trying to cover? Whose life are they trying to change? Is the reason that they're doing it bigger than themselves? Because that's what you light back up. We're lighting back up the belief within themselves. That's why people don't have longevity here or they stop before they even get started. It really isn't a lack of skill, it's a lack of belief. And
Yeah.
that's why we go so heavy on mindset training because this business is 80% mindset. It's so important. And so to get your people to know what drives them, to know their heart. I've heard, I can't remember what leader told it, but they said, you should know the color of the carpet of your business partner's living room floor. Like that's how
What's the
well
color of my carpet?
you don't have carpet, you have hardwood. Nah. But that's where it really comes down to the heart. And I love what they say here. That it starts with your calling and it's internal. And your calling is when your why and your purpose is bigger than you. If someone has a heart to make a difference, they can't be stopped. They'll find an answer. But if you don't, then you will find an excuse. So do you have a heart to truly help people come out of their circumstances that they're coming into this with to make a change in their life? Or are you here only to change yours? Because what is that other quote? How many times have we heard to get where you want, you have to help people get what they want? And the more that you focus on helping developing leaders, which means to just allow them to speak, think, and act on their own to make a positive impact, you're not going to get to where you want to go. You're going to hit, you're going to get somewhere, but then the cap is going to hit because you haven't helped them develop themselves to speak, think, and act on their own, to want to make a purpose that's bigger than themselves. Because once you see that you could, yes, I've done this, I've hit 15%, I've hit 9%, I've hit 3%. Oh my gosh, let me help whoever got started with me hit 3%, hit 6%. Like it doesn't need to be something massive, but seeing that you've done it yourself, that you're putting in the action that you didn't used to post on social media the way that you do now, but you are. You have to, like Kat said, I love what she said, reflect back on your actions, give yourself credit where it's due. I think so many times we don't give ourselves a pat on the back to say, like, hey, I've come this far. But that's also the belief that you feel that, hey, if I can do it, so can they. And I'm going to make sure that they know how worthy they are, that their vision is possible, and see, and I love what they said here, they're not lazy. They just don't know the next step. So have you identified with your people? Have you, I'm guilty myself, how many people I've called lazy? Yes. But that's why these calls are so important because you know what, it reflects back to me like maybe I shouldn't automatically think someone's lazy. I should ask them where are they stuck and help them move through it.
So good. So, so good. And I think like something to keep as a thought in your head to really be that transformational leader is, I heard this once and it changed the way that I worked. And the quote says, if all of my dreams came true, would I be changing my world or the world? So, like, are all your dreams just about you, or are they the people around you? So let's shift into what transformational leadership looks like.
Mhm.
Transformational leadership flips the script. It's not about managing people, it's about mentoring people into belief, like what Adriana said. So it
Mhm.
looks like checking in because you care, not because you need numbers. If you realize someone's pulling back, kind of reaching out like, hey, how are you? Just wanted to check in to see how you're doing. And I think what I learned from Jessie Lee, she said one of her strengths in network marketing is just having that intuition that someone needs you,
Mhm.
not you reaching out because you need them. And it's very easy for us to just reach out because we need someone to move versus like, you think about them and you just ignore it. And I think it's the Holy Spirit kind of guiding you, like, hey,
Yeah.
reach out to that person. So like really have that intuition. It's a key thing to really like act on it. Like we all have it, but do we all act on it?
Yeah.
So sorry, did I cut you off?
No, I just think that's so powerful. And I think, you know, if all of us can reflect back now to a time where you knew someone was really down and out and you helped them and they were so grateful for it. Like, do you remember how that feels? I think that's what we all have to strive for is that feeling of knowing that you've helped someone who really needs you. And I know that when I help someone and they're like so grateful for it, I feel like they've given me a gift like the feeling that I get in my heart over it. And that just makes you want to be more invested in their journey even more. So the more invested you get with your people, it's not wasting time. I know we all have so much time and phone calls and this, that, whichever, but I promise you, if you're in here for the long game, the deeper that you build your relationships with your people, the longer that they're going to stick around, the more that you're both going to grow together.
And seeing someone grow, it's more fulfilling than that $30,000 bonus.
Oh, I'm
And
going to
don't get me
cry.
wrong, that $30,000 bonus is going to be nice. But if you think that's nice, and I'm telling you that it feels better to watch someone grow, I want you to imagine that fulfillment that you get. And helping people grow, the 30K checks are going to be a byproduct of
Mhm.
doing that. So. Gosh, my nose. I don't know what happened. It's just so cold here. It's getting raw under my nostril.
Go ahead, Kat.
Uh, did I cut you off?
No, no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I think transformational leadership, like I said, it's checking in because you care. It's celebrating effort, not just achievement. So like when you see like Mandy's Real series that she just started, like I saw that on my feed, immediately shouted her out for it in the chat. Like when you see someone making more of an effort than they usually have been, you need to recognize them for it because that's what gets like effort leads to achievement. And whatever you celebrate appreciates. So the more things that you're celebrating, people getting active, people posting more on social media, people, doing reach outs, people asking you questions about compensation plan. Like when you celebrate them doing and putting in effort, that's going to start to appreciate. It's going to start to grow. So celebrate effort, not just people's achievements, and asking questions that pull out potential instead of giving commands. John
Hold on.
Maxwell, go ahead.
I really want to emphasize what you just said because I want people to see how like that is what you just said is a really big deal. And but I don't want it to be brushed over. Like when we first created Her Society and Kat's like, here's the welcome flyers. Like I welcome all my people. I was like, well, I don't do that. She's like, well, friend, you know, like it creates excitement. Like the new people are excited to be in there. I put it on their stories. I tag them. They repost it. Like it gets the momentum going. What Kat just said right now is so important. If on your team, if you have somebody that just made a sale and they earned the 50%, if you just had someone hit a new percent level, if you had someone who created a reel that is completely out of their norm and they've never done that before, if you have someone that tells you on the back end that they just did 50 reach outs and they never do 50 reach outs, like whatever that is, we encourage you to use the Her Society chat to celebrate them. Like what Kat just said is super important. So in that leadership part, that will change so much for you because energy is contagious. Heart is contagious. That momentum, it's easier to keep the momentum going than to let it die. So the more that you celebrate people, even the smallest little things, the follow-ups, getting an account reactivated, whatever, use that chat to celebrate any small action. And that's a huge thing. It sounds small, but it's actually really, really big.
So good. And another thing is just being transparent about your own growth journey. Because vulnerability will always multiply trust. Shared with my girls that I wasn't hitting platinum director. I share with my girls that I didn't recruit one BI for 2 months. Like I'm transparent with the team. I'm not just acting like everything is rainbows and butterflies. I always lead through my struggles. And I like do every training based off of the things I struggle with because achievements are great, success is great, but people learn most about how you overcome adversity. The best thing that you can teach is how you grow through adversity, not I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
That's huge what she said. And I will tell you right now, Kat is so true. What she's saying, she really puts into action because that girl had me put up this photo of myself. If you haven't seen it, okay, that I never thought this photo would surface the internet.
She showed it. I was like, why don't you show before and afters? She's like, you want to see my before and afters? And I looked, I was like, girl, you know ball.
Bro, this is not so this I feel like is transformational leadership, not transactional, because John said here, and I loved it what he said here. He said, leadership is the courage to put one at risk, to be open to different ideas, to take responsibility while others make excuses, the willingness to stand out of a crowd. It's courageous, open heart, and the dream made flesh. Was that courageous? Absolutely. Was it out of my comfort zone? 100%. Do I stand out? Yes. Was that about me? Absolutely not. Because do I want to post that? Heck no. But is it going to resonate with someone else? To not even necessarily be transactional to get them to buy from me. I didn't do no product post in here. I didn't say start now, join me, nothing. It was just like, this is me now, this is me then. If I can do it, so can you. So that I feel like was super transformational, not transactional, because I wasn't asking for any type of transaction there. I just put myself out in my most vulnerable moment in my personal life. And it's because Kat really encouraged me. So she, what she's speaking, she really stands on.
I didn't think you were even gonna. I was surprised to see it because you were really hard on absolutely not. But you plant the seed and it'll water itself, right? So I think Adriana, can you repeat that quote?
What he said,
Yeah.
it's so good. Leadership is the courage to put one at risk, to be open to different ideas, take responsibility while others make excuses, the willingness to stand out of a crowd. It's courageous, open heart, and the dream made flesh.
So good. And, being vulnerable, it's hard. People don't do it, but it will have you stepping out, like standing out of a crowd. It will have you like looking different than every other pharmacy influencer that's just posting flyers. You're posting your heart. And I think like even when I post my before and afters, I'm like, I really don't want to share this, but it's
Mm.
taking me out of the way and thinking about the person that is also struggling with what I struggled with and showing them that this is a vehicle to who they want to become.
Shows
So,
that you know ball.
yeah.
Just while we're on marketing, I just want to stay here for 1 second. We don't have a marketing section in there yet, right? Can I hit on marketing real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
Okay, a really great way to think, since we're kind of going into post, Mandy's reel started it, then he had my vulnerable moment. Uh, Really great way of thinking for your marketing in transformational versus transactional is, are you portraying yourself as a look at me girl or a come with me girl? because there's a really big difference. When you look at your page, and you can so tell, have you seen other people's social media before? And it's just like self-boasting, boasting, and it's just like, yeah, great, you can be proud of yourself, but there's no come with me. There's no like take me on a journey. There's no like this is what I learned during that experience. It's all look at me, look at me, look at me. And I'm sorry, I think that everybody is so over pompous, look at me type content. They want to know what's in it for them. Come with me. And that's why those come with me reels, they really work. Bringing people on a journey. That post that I just made, that's come with me. But for marketing in specific, so how do you put come with me girl into a actual what is it called? Tangible way of marketing yourself? I just want to remind all of you, when you market your products, you're not selling a product. You're selling a result. Like that's huge when it comes to sales. Reminding you, it's not facts and science that sell. Yeah, those things are cool. Maybe it gives you a little bit more confidence, but it's stories that sell. So before you make a post about a product, it's different than me saying, this is Recharge. It has vitamin C, taurine in it, and caffeine. Take this natural energy. Okay, that's cool. You might hit a few people. They're looking for natural stuff, whichever, but if you're like, oh my gosh, this recharge powder gives me so much energy. I take it every time before I go into the gym because I don't have those jitters and I just feel like I'm bouncing off the walls. You have to try it. It tastes so good and it's natural. Like there's a difference in marketing. I'm telling you the result that it's going to give me energy and it's not going to make me jittery versus the ingredients that it had. So same with skincare, makeup, like anything, you will sell so much more if you speak into people's pain points. You speak into why before you post something. I really encourage you this week before you post something, why am I going to post this lip gloss? Like who am I going to speak to about this lip gloss? You know, think about who are you selling it to? Reach into their heart as to why they need it. Speak about it from your experience and what it's done for you rather than it's clean European standards, this price, whatever, da da da. Facts and science don't do as well as stories do. When you're looking at a product, look at what is the result that you want people to have with it. Who are you speaking it to? What are the pain points that they have about it? How can you open their eyes that they need it? Not just trying to sound like the expert. And I think that's really encouraging because even when somebody first gets started, they're not an expert, and that's where you like that's okay, you don't need to be, you just need to use and love the products, experience it, and tell people how it's making you feel. Tell them how much you love that you're able to use a 3-in-1 palette and you don't need to go out and buy each individual one, and that you can take it in your purse anywhere. And just as Alma said, tell them that, I didn't need to spend money on my lip injections this month. I didn't want to put needles there. So I got this lip plumper and it makes it so plumpy and it's not that burning feeling. It's more of like a peppermint cool feeling. I love the way it feels. It makes my lip look so juicy. Like I love this stuff. There's a difference and a difference in energy about it, but don't try to sell people with the product. You're selling them the result.
So good. Ask yourself, like, who do I want to transform?
Mm.
And the best way to transform someone is to show your transformation. So I think, something that came to mind when Adriana was sharing this, something I do, let's say I want to promote the recharge. I go on TikTok and I look up pre-workout energy powder and I look at what influencers have the most views and what content they made that got people to go and look at it. So I'll look
So
and
good.
see which content performed the most and then I'll go and recreate what they made with Celsius, right? What they made with another brand that, and because if it worked for them, it's going to work for me and I'm going to duplicate it for recharge. So, and usually when you see content like that, excuse me, they are sharing a transformation or they're telling a story, and it just gives me more ideas. I'm always someone that needs, like, I'm better with direction. I'm not very creative. Like, it doesn't just come to me. I have to see it and then I duplicate it into my own. So, a little marketing bonus for
Love
you
that.
girls.
So your reflection, when you look at your content, and it's okay because maybe you didn't have the awareness before, but when you look at your content, is it screaming, look at me, girl? Or is it screaming, come with me, girl? I mean, how many influencers have we seen that just post like they look like the cool girl? They just have their selfie and then maybe a flat lay of something and a shot of the restaurant, whatever. It's like, wow, you look so cool. What are you doing for me? Like, That's really it. And it actually makes you feel like I can never be like that person, or it doesn't give you that good feeling. But when you see people who are posting before and afters, they're sharing how they did things, come with me on this journey, you feel like, oh, that person's probably really nice. They probably have an open heart. Like you're so much more approachable. So take a look at your content. Is it screaming, look at me, girl? Are you trying to be the cool girl? I promise you, you're already cool. Okay. You don't need to prove it to nobody. You're already cool. Now let's help other people look and feel as cool as you are.
So good. So, when it comes to transformational leadership, transformation, it happens when you stop trying to change people's actions and you start speaking to their identity. So instead of saying, you need to post more,
Mm.
and I'm guilty of this, you can start saying, you have a voice that people need to hear, which is usually what I follow. You need to post more with, telling people you have a voice that people need to hear. Instead of saying you need to recruit more, say, you were created to impact others through your story. One speaks to what, and the other speaks to who, right? If I were to call you and be like, Alma, you need to recruit, you should hang up on me. But if I were to call Alma and be like, girl, you people have a need to hear your voice. They need to hear your story. I feel like you were created to really impact other, young moms through your story. Let's share that more. You're gonna change so many lives. Which one's gonna get her to start recruiting more and sharing her story? The first one or the second one? So maybe you don't have a team yet. You're now like pre-prepared for transforming people. So I think having that heart over hustle mindset will really help you build a strong foundation and a strong culture. And how, like, think about it. How do we actually lead from the heart while still driving results? I have three shifts for you guys. That John Maxwell and Bob Heilig, they both talk about this, and it's completely changed how I lead. So, number one, if you're taking notes, note takers are money makers. Number one, presence over performance. You can't lead people that you don't know. You need to learn their stories, their why, their fears, and why they feel seen. Then they stay. Number two, connection over correction. Don't just tell people what to fix. Remind them who they are. When they feel believed in, they're gonna rise naturally. And number three, legacy over levels. Your rank will come and go, but the confidence that you build in someone, that's gonna outlast any title that you achieve. So we are in the business of believing in women until they believe in themselves. That's transformational leadership. I feel like we should do a part two to this training. But that's what I have for you girls. Do you want to add on?
Well, I just want to add on, like for two real life examples of what you just said for transformational versus transactional. It's those moments when maybe you don't feel like posting, like you just like you don't feel like it. But if you do it for yourself and that's transactional, you can let yourself down. But when your purpose is bigger than you and you shift the mindset around, I don't feel like posting, okay, then you don't. But if you're like, I'm just gonna post because someone might need this today. Like it gets you out of your own head, out of not doing something because you don't want to, versus serving someone and knowing that your voice, your story, that post, maybe it's not for everybody, but it's for somebody. And if you showed up today, you are more likely to reach their heart and change their life. And that's why you're doing it versus yourself. Or say there's a time that you get a text message, or I've been laying on the couch and I feel like, okay, it's my wind down time. Now, yes, I know, have respectful boundaries, yes. But for me in real life, I might be ready to have my wind down, but I might have one of my FIs call me. And if I don't want to answer because I don't want to, well, then nothing moves. But if I'm like, this person signed up with me, believes in me, to believe in them, to help them, that's my responsibility. What is it to take a 15, 20-minute phone call to help them with, thank the Lord they're calling me during this time, that when they're reaching out, I'm going to answer the call when maybe I didn't want to. And that's what really pushes me a lot of times, or text messages. If I get a text message and like, I don't really have the time to respond right now, but I know that the quicker that I respond to them is the more likely they're going to get themselves in action and the quicker we're going to get to the next roadblock together because that's just the way that it is. But if I wait for the right time that it is for me to text, the right time for me to answer a call, I only answer calls between this and this time, until we're at that level where we can really have that luxury, we're all in the basket right now of answering every single text message, every single DM, every single phone call when they come in, if it really allows it. You got to identify, am I just being like lazy right now and just taking this for me, or am I being servant and I can answer and it maybe wasn't optimal, but I know that I'm here to help that person.
So
That's the difference is when you're ready to put somebody before yourself in any of the circumstances because you know that's the momentum.
And
It's
I've
what,
been in that situation multiple
uh-huh.
times where I'm like, oh, this was my like 45 minutes to just
Yeah.
do nothing and someone needs me. You don't get to choose when someone needs you. That's like the price you pay for leadership. But when you get off that call, you're not going to regret answering the phone. You're not going to regret like giving that person your time. It's going to be more fulfilling than the 45 minutes that you were going to do nothing. And now you have 30 instead of 45, but you feel more fulfilled and you're growing your roots. I like to think of it as reps. Like reps that I put into my business and reps that I put into my leadership. Like each action step that you take for your people, like that you're building them, it's a rep that you're building. And the more reps that you do over time, it's going to grow more and more. So, like, think about it as reps that you put in to your business to grow your business. Just like Adriana puts in those reps at the gym with her legs to grow that booty. Her and Selena, they really motivated me, let me tell you, at the gym last weekend or this past weekend. But yeah, if you guys want a part two to transformational and transactional leadership, I have a lot more notes. I just have a hard cutoff at 2 o'clock. And I'd love to train on this again with you girls.
Yeah, this is really fun. I mean, so what is their homework? What are some takeaways? What is a recap?
So I would say this week, your challenge, lead one conversation from the heart instead of hustle. Maybe, think of someone that you have seen really like grow and shout them out on your Instagram story for an action step that they took. Call someone that you're thinking about and let them know, like, and sometimes what Adriana said about like, I blocked out this 45 minutes to do nothing and someone calls you. Like I always say, hey, I have a quick 15 minutes. I'm glad you called. Like letting them know the time that you do have. Or every time you pour into someone, you don't need to give them an hour of your time. Because as girls, I know we can get caught up on the phone for hours. But you can call and be like, hey, I have a quick 15 minutes. I just wanted to call you and let you know. Or I have a quick 5 minutes. And like speak life into them for that 5 minutes. It goes a long way. So lead one conversation from the heart and remind, someone on your team that they're capable of whatever you think they're capable of,
Love that.
and watch how that small moment creates transformation. So
I
let's
think
see.
that's so beautiful. I love that. It's so
Do you
true.
like that activity?
I think that's so beautiful. It's so true. Like, okay, what's our homework? To go into your downline and let someone know that you're thinking of them and that they can do hard things. It's so true because it is so true. You can feel what is that commission breath, right? When you have someone, you can feel it. If someone's talking to you, you're
Commission
like, what
breath
do you
is crazy.
what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Versus like, oh my gosh, they're calling me. Like the deeper you build those relationships, even in that like 5 minute time, the longer your people are going to stay with you because they can feel that you actually care.
You'd be so surprised at what people will do for you when you put what they need done as your priority. I remember in my last company, my last team surprised me with a Cartier ring when I hit like the first big level, and I was like, I cried. I was like, I've never had anything luxury in my life, but it was like 2 years of me putting in like 200 hours of one-on-one calls, Zoom calls, leading. So yeah, it was like something that I would have never expected. but I never wanted it. I just like focused on how can I make this person's goal become their reality. And you'll be surprised when you add value to others, people will add value to you. So you never like in leadership, you never have to tell people what to do if you are mirroring who you want them to become. They'll just follow.
I want to add one more. So we have our homework of going down into the downline, letting someone know that you're thinking of them, that you believe in them, and make sure it's genuine, not like, hey, we told you to do this. Like obviously, right? So
Hey, Kat gave me an
yeah,
assignment and I wanted
what I did.
you to.
No. Okay, so to as many of your downline as you can spend time doing, because the more that you do that, you're not going to regret it. And like Kat said, you can call or even voice note, but you can call and say, hey, I have a quick 5 minutes. I really just wanted to talk to you because yada, yada, yada. So it doesn't need to be long. One. Number two, I highly want to encourage you to follow my lead and post some sort of vulnerable moment in your life of a before and after. If it's really bad skin and now your skin. If it was a weight journey, do that. If it's like a glow up, time that you look not so nice and now you look great. I really encourage and would love if someone followed my lead and showed me that I didn't post the worst photo of myself online and that you guys have my back and you're going to be willing to post some sort of oh I know ball post. If you see my post, that's a trend right now, by the way. If you look it up on TikTok, it is a trend. So if you actually want to just duplicate the trend, the one that I originally saw was, and please trigger warning, but the one that I saw was like when someone mentions to me that I got my sparkle back and that I don't know like what it's like, something. And the next one was actually her all bruised up from domestic violence. And she's like, but trust me, next one, I know ball.
Just type in
So
I know ball on TikTok and you're
yeah.
gonna see
And
all
you're
of
going to
the
see all
trends.
of them. So highly encourage us to follow the I know ball trend because it's very relatable and it fits into exactly what we're talking about. You're going to get that. That's about the others, transformational. That's not transactional because nobody wants to put up their most vulnerable photo, but that's what today was all about.
So good. I love
Put
this
your I know
call.
balls in the chat. Put your I know ball chats post in the chat.
Put your I know
I
balls.
know balls. Put your I know balls. Put your I know balls in the chat once you posted it. Okay. We can celebrate your that you know balls.
Let's do our daily
Wild. Hey,
handshake.
hold up, hold up. Wait, how do I change it again? Multi-speaker. There you go.
All right.
Wait.
What about I got balls is crazy.
Wait. What are they doing over there at her society? Bye, team. Love you.
Love you.
Woo! We know ball, baby. Yes. Bye.
Ball.
Swish.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Cute.